did you know what a zine was before starting this project? And what did you think when we said, "Oh, we're gonna do a Grand Summoner zine"?
Right. So I did know what a zine was, but I didn't know it was shortened to zine. At first, I only knew it as community magazine,
Oh.
and I knew what it was because of mostly because of One Punch Man. Like the first ever fandom I was in, it was in One Punch Man, and there were zines, zines, however you pronounce it,
Mm-hmm.
or followed up with that. So when I heard one day that, well, you messaged me saying you wanted to do a zine, I was like, I was immediately enthralled by it because I really did want to promote some way to promote people like myself and the other artists and writers like Jenny and ancient long gone names that no one recognizes anymore. But not having an official way to do it, I just never bothered sharing my work in any way. I just wrote and posted it. But when you came and asked me, I actually got excited because I knew you had sort of a following on Twitter, especially with like the Japanese artists and Yamapi and all of that. So I was like, all right, this is this is the chance for us to finally be recognized. So I went into it quite motivated, I suppose, to try and do something. Yeah.
Oh no, that's great. I'm actually really glad that, well, one, that you were super excited about it, because I also like during art stuff, like that Grand Summoners did more art stuff for the community. Like at the time, like they didn't even do like illustrate, like now they do like the loading screen illustrations, but we didn't even have that. Like we had no content to like feed off on. And like it always made me super jealous too, because like big communities will have like, oh, we have fan art contests, or like submit your fan works here, or they do like a fan work feature, or just in general have many fans who do art in the community. And we didn't have any of that. Like I really wish we did, because like I really enjoy the game. I like the characters. I like the world. It's like literally,
Right. Like it's one of the better fantasy worlds out there. If
definitely.
you skip past all of the original 5 chapters, just ignore that. The rest of it is actually quite brilliant. It's just
Yeah.
that when it comes down to it,
Um, what was the process like? Like, was it challenging? Like, did you find yourself short on time? I think you asked for one extension, or maybe you didn't.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
no, I did,
Did,
because for writers, it's like it depends. I know some people they go straight into the writing without planning anything. Others like to make outlines first, and it really depends because a lot of writers get this problem called writer's block. I'm pretty sure there's an artist version of it as
of
well, but
course.
basically we just can't put the words out. And at one point I did get that block. Like I wrote the outline, but I didn't know how to connect the dots between each of the points in my outline until I had like a sort of, I won't say it's like a eureka moment, but it's more like a, oh, I just watched slash saw something that gave me an idea, and that was what allowed me to connect the dots. That was when I asked for the extension. I was like, okay, I know what I want to do. I just need a bit more time before I check in with you. So yes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like I'm sure you feel that way about art, but like for me, writing, I know is like, I mean, I've written before, right? And it's like I think it's really hard, like to like think of
I
a
still
scene.
remember your old Tumblr links for your
Oh my
One
gosh.
Punch Man stuff.
Yeah.
That's some ancient stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm super ancient. Like, and then like sometimes people will just dig them out of somewhere and just like write about it, or like reblog it, I mean. But yeah, for me, I really respect writing, because like I mean, I use the RP, I write, like I just think it's incredible to like, come up with a plot and then like have to put it to words, like describe a scene, describe a character. Like, um, it takes a lot of time. I had a friend that was like, "Oh, I don't." Well, I disagree with her, but like to her, she always valued writing over art. Like she does art herself, because she's like, I don't think when I draw, which I totally disagree, because I think a lot when I draw. So like, I don't know what's up with her, but I do like see and also like agree that writing just has like a lot of time that you spend into it, and then like for me it's like scary to like write a sentence and then be like, oh gosh, like I don't like how I want to write this more artsier or something like that, and then you spend forever on a
Mm.
sentence. So I can
It,
see that.
I feel like it is like a sort of a balance because your friend probably doesn't really understand the process of what goes into making art. Like they think you just draw a few lines and then color it in and that's fine. But for more professional and more complicated artworks especially, it's always a matter of planning down every single like stroke of the brush, I suppose. And I did actually watch a time of like all it takes is just watch a couple time lapses and you'll know that it's not a matter of which one takes more thinking. It's just which one you're more comfortable with. With writing especially, the main problem is always expressing what you want on the page. It's why a lot of storytellers at the same time learn how to draw, like so that they can tell their stories in a more expressive form that's easier to put on paper rather than just writing out words. That's why we have manga artists who are also the story writers rather than just separate writers who ask artists to draw their manga out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, like cause like you're familiar, like I also like write comics, and I'm not saying my writing's good or anything. It's definitely something like I like improved just doing a lot of these, but I that's why like when I look at like any manga and it's like story and art by that one person, I it's like, dude, that's crazy, because that's a lot of work, like, and it's also a lot of work too when you split it, but like you can really feel like, whoa, this is like the creator's like entire story that they want to tell. um but
Hmm.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's why like I don't really agree with my friend, but like, I very like I like about art, not thinking when you do art, because like I like you just said, I do think a lot when I do art. There's like a lot in my
Hmm.
process. Um and like, yeah, like you said, for me, my craft is like putting it out into a drawing or illustration, and yours is like a mastery of like, not a prose, but like a story, like a work of fiction, or like just like any kind of writing. It's like not really a novel. What do you call them when they're like just short stories? There we go.
Snippets, I suppose, would be.
Yeah, yeah. But that was really good insight. So thank you for sharing that with us. And
Thank you for all the work you.
okay, so I was very surprised. Like your story was it felt very fluffy and warm, and like, which is like kind of contrasts like, what people know about you.
Yeah, my
So like,
personality is not like the cutesy, fluffy kind.
no, and
And
absolutely, yeah, it was.
so like I'll be really frank. When it comes to writing stories, I really hate writing fluffy stuff because it's so hard. It's a lot of the things you do, it just comes out feeling and sounding the same. It's like it's as if a music artist always pumps out like multiple songs, but they all sound and have the same tone, and it's just boring and repetitive. But I do occasionally indulge in like wholesome things just to make my day a little bit brighter. Like usually only short little moments. Like I'll write one scene of fluff and say this is my it's my sugar intake for the day, no more than that. So I sort of when I was first thinking of what I wanted to write for the Zine, I did have a few discussions with friends of mine, and especially Jenny, another contributor, another writer for design. I was talking about ideas I had for what I would submit, and one of the first things I wanted to do was pretty much not an angst fic, but like a bit of drama, and the hero gets over it. But then I thought it's our first Zine. Let's not pull the mood down. Let's make it something bright and cheery that will bring people in. and show them what this community is capable of. And so I figured, all right, I'll just write something really wholesome using my two favorite characters.
it, but would you be interested in doing a zine again? And if you did, like what kind of theme or topic like would you be interested in? Or like what do you think you would write next? Like you did mention that you didn't want to write something kind of like too much drama. Do you think like you would try something different for the next one if we did it? Maybe it depends on the theme
Well,
too, because like if people go like woohoo, I want a summer themed zine, I'm like, oh, I don't know how you'll write something angsty about that. Or hey, maybe that's a challenge in itself.
well, I do want to do another one of these, but I also know somewhat of how painful it is to organize. So
Oh, don't worry about
I
my
guess it would
organization.
depend. It would depend a lot on the reception of this and whether or not I feel like it's worth it to actually have to ask people to go through all of the trouble of setting things up and contacting other people for something like this. But, after seeing the reception it got on Twitter, I think it's definitely worth it for another one. As for themes, honestly, I am not the best person to decide on a theme because for me, it's always been a matter of whatever comes to me, I'll write it down. Like one comes up, I'll just go along with the feel of it and see what other people want. If other people want a summer theme, sure, I'll write a summer fic. But if there are people who want like a collaboration theme, I know a lot of people are definitely going to ask for that because this is Grand Summoners. The only thing they care about is the next collab. Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that's like the top
So,
most asked question.
oh yeah, like what's the next collab? Can it be this and that? But if they ask for something like that, I'll say it first. Making art and writing for collaborations is difficult, mainly because of in terms of like the legality of it. Like, are we allowed to use this this content that is belongs to other people? Like, if it's just Grand Summoners, it's simpler for us because, well, it's Grand Summoners. But other collaborations, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah,
Plus, it
exactly.
really it gets really difficult when, especially when it comes to like downloading, like just having a place to download.
It makes it tough because like we want it to be like a Grand Summoner zine, and if it has collab, is it still as a Grand Summoner zine? So it's definitely something to be thought. I couldn't get our beautiful like digital zine up, but here's the PDF. This is Crimson's work that he did for our zine. It was a pretty good 5 pages, 6 pages. Ooh, amazing. I
Oh,
was so happy because like I was like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna have a balance between art and writing, but like, no, this was great. I was really excited to have writers. You can read the zine from, you can read Crimson's work in our zine, which you can download and read here with this big link right here. I know it's horrible. I'll type it later if like we have any new folks here who need it. But I highly suggest reading the zine because, that was the point, right? It was the point to get
indeed. Support
everyone to put together a really pretty thing together.
support the zine, support the creators.